So, Grand Rising, everyone. We are going to get into a great show today. On today's topics, we are going to talk about the R. Kelly sentence. And also, there is this baby mama drama going on. There is a video out of a mother who was angry, like super angry at her baby dad for bringing her child, one child, food, which is his child, and then the three other children, which are her children, he didn't bring any food for. So, we're going to go ahead and go over that. And then also, we are going to talk about some very powerful medicinal plants. Okay, there's about five plants that I wanted to go over, and I wanted to go over the good parts of those plants and what you can use those plants for. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the morning show. I am going to play a timer so you guys can pull on into the studio and we can get to talking about this. Okay. So, welcome to the morning show. I truly appreciate all the loungers that have been coming in, supporting the show, and also those who catch the replay. I truly appreciate you guys. We've got a few topics on the line today. We're definitely going to be talking about the R. Kelly sentence, also some baby mama drama. There's this lady that is viral on YouTube. It started on TikTok, but it's everywhere. It's on Facebook, YouTube, you name it. And basically, the baby mother is mad at the father or mad at her baby father because he brought food to his son and didn't bring food to the other three kids, not even knowing what was going on. So we're going to get into that. And also, I have five powerful medicinal plants that I wanted to discuss. And we're actually going to start with that. And then, of course, I have an unpopular opinion and I am going to read some viewer comments. So let's start with the five powerful medicinal plants. I hope everyone is doing as excellent as I am today. And, we always want to be consulting with our doctor, of course, before we are just going willy nilly and using stuff. Okay. So you definitely want to consult with your doctor. Make sure that you are speaking with a nutrition specialist before you are actually diving into these things. Okay. Because you never know. You might actually have an allergic reaction, or there might be something else, that doesn't sit well with you and these plants. Okay. So let's get into it. Now, the first plant that I have is ginkgo, Gingko. This is actually good for bone health, eye health, as well as inflammation. Okay, so if you have like anything that's inflamed, if you have some issues with eyes or anything like that, ginkgo is actually very good for that. And that's good for both men and women. Okay. Turmeric is something you can buy in the grocery store. Okay. And this is actually good for pain from inflammatory conditions like lupus and arthritis. I actually swear by turmeric. I have lupus myself, and I use turmeric in a lot of my meals and different things like that. So it definitely does help with inflammation. It also helps with various skin disorders. Now, turmeric now, with lupus, and a lot of people who have lupus understand this. You get this rash on your face. It's like a butterfly rash, so it goes like across your nose, and it looks really weird. And I can always tell when I'm having a breakout because that's when I get the butterfly rash. So turmeric actually helps with that. If you just throw a little bit in your food, and there's some other things you can do too, but I just wanted to bring that out. Primrose oil, which actually also helps. It's actually called moonflowers. This is good for ladies. Okay, we can use this for PMS, any mild skin disorders. It also helps to lower the blood pressure. Okay, you can get like Primrose oil pills at like your local Walgreens or other places like that. You can also order each one of these things on Amazon. Okay. Um, and you really should not use it while you're pregnant. So if you're pregnant, you really shouldn't be using Primrose. Okay, it's not really good for that, and it hasn't been proven to do well by the baby. So you definitely want to be careful with using that. I have actually six of them. I'm sorry, guys. I told you guys five, but I have actually six of them. So the fourth one is flaxseed oil. You can use flaxseed oil in so many different ways. I actually use flaxseed in some of my oils for hair. So I have multiple oils, which I'll go over on another day. And I'll actually do a hair tutorial on how I put them in, how I use them, and I'll do that. But flaxseed, I actually mix into other oils and put that in my hair. Okay, this also helps regulate blood pressure. It also helps ladies, for us who are possibly dealing with menopause, and postmenopause. It helps with hot flashes as well. This is also good for inflammation, and you don't want to eat these raw or unripe. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're not getting like a raw flaxseed and just tossing that in your mouth. It's not good for you, like in that sense. But if it's broken down with the elements or with the essentials in it, it does have really great effects on the body. But particularly, I use flaxseed in my hair. So now tea tree oil is also good, and this is also something that I have that I use for various things. I like to put that in my spiritual baths. And also, it's good, like if you want to give yourself a foot soak or something like that, which I do. You can use that. If somebody has athlete's foot in the household, you can use tea tree oil in their foot soak as well. It's good for mild acne, also insect bites and cuts. But you don't want to ingest tea tree oil. That's not something you want to take into the body. It's something that you want to put on the outside. Okay. And finally, echinacea. Echinacea. Okay. This helps to shorten common cold symptoms, also helps with respiratory infections and immunity. Okay. So try to get at least six or at least one of these, but if you can get all six of these, this would be really good. It's really great to have these things in your arsenal of stuff to keep up with your health and keep up with the health of your family. Okay. It's so important these days to do that. With not only with COVID-19 going on, but with everything else happening. It's just super important to keep up with our health and keep up with our bodies. The regulation of blood pressure in the Black community is something that we definitely should be talking about on a much larger scale. Some of we have conversation, we have time for drama, we've got time for all this stuff, but we don't take time to take care of ourselves and to take care of our health. And this is something that must be done. So, these are just some things we can use, but there's many other things. And I'll be going over other things as time goes on. But again, make sure that you are consulting with your doctor each time before you are actually attempting to use these, either for yourself or for family members. That way you can make sure that you're not, giving any problems out like that. And also that you're not giving any problems to yourself and to your family. Okay. So now we're going to talk about a comment from a viewer. Shout out to Clark, one of my favorite loungers. I did do a video yesterday on the guy who was the YouTuber who decided that he was going to go to New York during the R. Kelly sentencing. He wanted to go up there and have his supporters and subscribers meet him there so that they can cause harm to three female prosecutors on the R. Kelly case. Okay. So that clearly did not work out. The police found out about it. They've been watching this for a while and they actually arrested him before anything could go down. And I said yesterday that we've got to watch our spaces. We've got to make sure that we're not just allowing anybody to say anything and do anything in our comment sections because this could prove detrimental to your channel. It could prove detrimental to you and even to the people who are in the comment section. And the reason I'm saying that is because um, clearly the FBI or some type of investigation was being done on this man in order for them to thwart the situation in the first place. Okay, so if you guys and this guy is in the manosphere. Okay, so if you guys understand, that the conversations that we're having um, are spilling out into the regular human life. You know what I'm saying? And the types of things that are being planned on YouTube and in toxic spaces like that are actually spilling out into what's actually really happening in the world. You realize that you have to do something about it. There's multiple content creators that are and have cracked down months ago on the manosphere. But it's still kind of like an open space where there's multiple people still having negative conversations, and these conversations are, and then there's people in the chat room that are partaking in these conversations, and it's causing the FBI and the police to be looking at these YouTubers and to be looking at these commenters. Okay. So we've got to be careful with what we say. We cannot just say whatever we want. We cannot just feel whatever we want and put it out there and think there won't be any repercussions to it. Clearly, there is. And Clark said this, and it made a lot of sense. She said, "This person clearly does not know New York, where the courts are situated, and the amount of police in the area. Police Plaza is not that far away, and central booking is right there. That is always my question. Who is in your ear? You know?" And I agree. Who are you listening to when you come here on these YouTube streets, or when you go to TikTok, or when you go to any of these places, Facebook or Instagram or Spotify or anything else? Who are you listening to? What is the message behind it, and why? You know, because a lot of times we listen in and we tune in to what is already in our spirit. So if it's something negative and we're connected to negativity, or constantly connected to negativity, that's something you need to ask yourself why, you know, and get some help over that. Because ultimately speaking, at the end of the day, nobody deserves to have their life taken because you don't like something that they've done, or you don't like something that they have partaken in. You understand what I'm saying? Like it just cannot be this easy for people to have to take things to this level. And we're not going to blame this on mental illness. Okay, we're not going to blame this on mental illness. I'm kind of sick of hearing that, because people say, they just throw like out there like, hey, I have mental illness, and everybody's just supposed to excuse it. Mental illness is not the problem. It's untreated mental illness that's the problem. Okay, untreated situations that is causing that. And anybody, just because you have a mental illness doesn't mean you just going out here causing crime and committing crime and doing things. No, it's not like that. It's literally you have untreated mental illness. So we've got to do something to treat ourselves with these situations, and not be tuning in to the drama, tuning into the nonsense, and feeding ourselves, constantly feeding ourselves that. Because whatever you feed yourself is what you're going to be. Well, if you feed yourself hatred, you open up your eyes and you open your ears, and all you hear is hatred, and all you see is hatred, that is who you're going to become. Like, period. Okay. If all you eat is McDonald's and Burger King and fast food, that is what your body is going to become. Like, period. So whatever you pull in, through your gates, through your eyes, through your ears, it is going to be you. So if you're constantly pulling in drama, constantly pulling in, issues, and listening in to hatred, this is exactly what you will become, and this is exactly what you will experience in life. Okay? So just be careful what you're pulling in, and what you're letting come in, and who you're letting, give you information. Okay? Because everybody doesn't have a good reason for the information that they provide. Okay? And everything is not always 100% facts either. It's opinions. And YouTube is full of people giving opinions. Social media is full of people giving opinions. So you've got to be careful with what you take in as opinion and as fact. Okay. And if you're unable to separate the two, or unable to figure it out, have a conversation with your therapist. Make sure you're is a qualified therapist, and have a conversation with them, because this is serious, and there seems to be way too many situations. Okay, recently, in less than a year, in like 6 months, in a 6 month time frame, there seems to be way too many coincidences of men, black men, angry black men coming out of the manosphere, attempting to, or even fully filling out, or fully fulfilling crimes against black women. Okay, and this is crazy. We cannot ignore that, and we can't deny it, and we're not going to pretend. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, and shout out to Clark. I really, really appreciate her for that. I'm actually going to share my screen, because I have a video that I wanted to share with you guys about this baby mother. Okay. And what she did, guys, was she decided that she was going to put her baby dad on blast, because he came to the house without food for her other kids, but he had food for his child. Okay. I'm just going to play the video for y'all. It's about a 4 minute long video. I might stop in between and talk about it, but I just want you guys to see what I saw. Because when I saw the video, At first, I had one thought about it, which was, hey, if the kids are hungry, if there's four kids, it is kind of cruel whether you're the baby father or whether you're the friend of the family. It doesn't matter. It's kind of cruel to just feed one kid and not feed the other three. But once I saw the full video on this, I had a whole different view on this. So I want you guys to look at what I saw and let me know what you guys think. Know if you guys can hear it. I'm not sure if y'all can hear it or not. Uh, oh, you know what? I didn't add it to the stream. Okay. Now I got it on the stream. So I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hold on one second. Oh, that's why. Okay. So I want you guys to let me know what you guys think in the comments. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play the video.
I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like that's bogus as hell. Like you're not gonna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry? What he like? What do you mean? Okay, what about my other kids? What about your other kids? Okay, but them your kids' siblings though. So what are you talking about? What are you them my kids, them your kids' siblings though. So what you? So my other kids finna be left out. You didn't feed them? You know I don't give my food stamps to the 7. Lisa, how is that my problem? But if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out. I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son. But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings? Lisa, you had them.
Okay, so I have so many questions like right now, okay? And just watching just this portion of the video. First of all, again, she's yelling at him like he's responsible for her children, okay? I see that he just pulled up, okay? It's not like he was there and he came and picked his kid up and took his kid to McDonald's and brought his kid back with McDonald's. He actually came, brought a meal for his child, okay? And is trying his best to give that meal to his child. Technically, by law, that is all he's really supposed to do. He's not really supposed to, and he's not responsible for the other children. Where is their father? That would be my first question. And where is her money to make sure her kids are eating? Let's continue.
Them are his siblings, though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings, and they're not eating on McDonald's. Why do I gotta bring him out to the car? No. He's not finna eat that at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
So he can't even come, and so he can't eat it all. Like if your kids, your other kids that clearly you haven't purchased anything for, don't aren't eating, then your other child can't eat at all. Like he said, let him come to the car or let me take him with me. You know what I mean? Or something like that. What's, he's still going to eat because ultimately he needs to eat. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand.
Lisa, so you telling me that I gotta bring my son food? I gotta bring your kids food too now? Yes. You sound dumb. How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb. Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You had them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility. Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's?
That's the problem right there. She said, "How do I look letting one child eat McDonald's and not the other children eat McDonald's?" So it's about you. It's not about the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I want y'all to hear the rest of this.
You know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, I did.
Yes, you did.
What? What do you mean? You knew what you were getting into when you had a baby with me. What? You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with him. Like, what is you talking about? You also knew what you was getting into when you had three other babies by some other man or two other men or three other men. We don't know how many fathers there are, but you knew, woman, what you were getting into. So this man is actually handling his responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually doing his part, and she got a problem. Let's continue.
You expect me to take care of all the kids? They're not my kids.
Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids.
Why are you recording me?
Because I'm exposing you. Everybody think you such a motherfucking good daddy. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're full of shit in this bullshit. You only come here with one piece of food for one child.
The child that's mine, silly.
No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all. Then he can't take that. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had one or two, I could maybe. You got it's three extra kids. What the? You all like going to my mother account, spending money on all those kids. Them not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings, though. Dumb.
So that's what you gonna go with. That's the one you gonna.
Those are your fucking kids' siblings.
They my. So that means
yeah. So don't. No, I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring one something to eat.
I bring them food every other day. What do you mean?
Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other ones. You know I get my food stamps on the 11th.
Your babies.
Oh my God. So wait. Because wait a minute. Wait. So because you don't have your food stamps, like, wait a minute. So what do the kids eat if he wasn't there? Say he was locked up or he was dead or something like that. What would the kids be eating? You mean to tell me that you are living from EBT deposit to EBT deposit? You mean to tell me you're not putting any other money or anything, any other resources into the household to make sure that those kids eat? You literally brought up the fact that you don't get your food stamps to a certain date as an argument to the father of one of your kids, okay? The father of one kid. You didn't get your food stamps is the reason why he needs to go out and go to McDonald's and buy food for all of your kids. This is the most irresponsible, ratchet, ghetto-ish I think I ever seen in my life.
Okay, but I'm saying we share the same kids as well.
Absolutely. So if you want to, if you feel like I feel the way about eating, take him in the room and let him.
I'm not taking my kid in the room.
Send him down to the car. He ain't even got. He ain't got to eat for his brother. He come right out to the car and eat with me.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here.
Thank you.
Give it here. Give it here.
Kids,
give it here. Dumb. He ain't eating this. You.
Why don't you just do that?
Because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish as a like you're dumb as hell. You're dumb as hell. He not finna eat that shit. Dumb.
Take care of him anyway.
Dumb. He not finna do that if you can't do it.
All right, y'all. Like, that was fucking crazy. Okay. I cannot believe this woman thought it was okay for her to disrespect this man like this. Okay. I don't understand how she thought that was normal. Like, can anybody get that? I don't get how that just happened. Hey, good morning, Black Nepotus. I cannot understand how that just happened. Okay. Like, literally, this woman felt some type of way because the father of her child, hold on, guys. Okay, the father of her child, bought food for his child. Okay, he made sure that his child had, was provided for. He doesn't have it to go and purchase food for all of her other kids. And her reasoning behind all this, her reasoning for why she felt some type of way to begin with, and why she was saying something to begin with, her reasoning is she don't get her food stamps until the 11th. So what do you do in between the time that food starts to run out and the time your food stamp card comes back on? Like, are you working in between that time? You know what I'm saying? Are you, handling your business in between that time? Because he's right. Technically, I have to agree with this man. He is absolutely right. It is not his responsibility to take care of your kids, especially after y'all are not even in a relationship anymore. Now, can he every so often go and do something for the kids? Yeah. And if, I think even if he had known ahead of time that she didn't have food or she didn't have something, he may have brought something different. He may have even went to the grocery store and purchased something, that she could cook for the kids or something like that. He may have done that. But who's to say that she hasn't tried something like this in the past? You know what I mean? Because she felt the need to record it. She came out there all aggressive, like as if he was really wrong. And I don't believe he was honestly wrong in this situation. A lot of times I do stand up for kids. I particularly want to see children winning. And I will say something about that. And if I was in that situation, I probably would have been that person that would have fed all the children, just because that's the kind of person I am. I'm gonna look out for kids regardless, of what's going on with the parent. But I don't know. I don't want to judge him in that situation because I can imagine how many times he's already done that. You know what I mean? And now he's like, you need to take responsibility for your own kids, man. Like, it's not everybody else's responsibility to make sure your children are eating. If you know you don't get your food stamps till the 11th, then what are you doing in between that time? Is it his responsibility to take care of them? And then my other question is, where is their father? You know what I'm saying? Is their father around? Is their father absent? Is their father not paying child support? Is their father, passed away? Like, what? Where are the other kids' father or fathers? Where they could actually help out in the household or make sure their kids have something to eat. And even in that situation, I think the worst part of it all for me was the selfishness of the mother. Like, the father handed her the food for his child, for his son, and she took the food and threw it on the floor. So now none of them have nothing to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you accomplished at least getting one of them fed. Now none of them are supposed to eat. Like, I thought that was absolutely disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And it's no excuse for that. There was no excuse for that. I don't care how bitter she is, how mad she is with the baby dad or any of that stuff. That don't got nothing to do with that child. That child still needs to eat, and she should have did her part and made sure that that kid had something to eat, even if she sent the kid with the father, because he offered that. He said, "I'll take him. I'll do it, whatever." Like, but you're not going to argue with me and force me to go buy food for your kids. Like, what is wrong with you, homegirl? But yeah, that's the type of women, some of the women we got in this world that are, giving problems to their baby fathers, which is something that I think should be highlighted and I think should be talked about, because it's not always the man's fault. You see what I'm saying? It's not always, the father who is, doing the wrong thing. At the end of the day, there was no excuse for her to not send the child with the father, and definitely no excuse to destroy perfectly good food that her kid could have eaten. Now, I think could it have been a better choice of food? Yes. I would not have fed my child just a McDonald's meal. Okay. I probably would have went to the grocery store, or I would have went and got a healthier choice of something. But ultimately speaking, there is no law that says he would have been wrong for bringing food for his child. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing like that. And which goes to show we have to be much, much more sexually responsible, because if you out here just having babies with all these different men, of course you're going to be, in a position where one kid might receive and the other kid might not. And that's not the men's responsibility. That's kind of on you, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Because you sat around having all these different kids, but all these different people. Of course, you're going to have different situations with different fathers. You understand what I'm saying? So one father might be around, the other father might be absent, the other father might be, halfway there, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. Like, this is just a mess for the children. Okay, like, this is just an entire mess for the kids. Do the best you can with having a child or kids with the same person. You know what I'm saying? That way the kids all equally experience the same things. If you've got various kids with various different baby dads, you're going to experience different things with each child. And that's just what it is. And the fathers are going to react to the situation based off of their child, you know? And you can't expect anything more. Like, I don't know why she would have expected that, especially if him and her aren't together, you know? So this whole thing about you knew what you were getting into when you got with me, what are you talking about? I was with you at the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got into a relationship with you and I took on your kids and we had a kid. We didn't work out. So now I've moved out, I've moved on, but I'm still going to be taking care of my child. I'm not going to stop taking care of my child because I'm not with you. But this is literally what she expects. She expects him, and then this is what it looks like to me. She expects him to still do things as if he's with her. You know what I'm saying? And her anger seems to be about the fact that he's not, you know? But she got to get up off her rusty ass and she need to go make some money for her kids so that she can feed her children. Like there's no excuse for the whole food stamp situation. I'm sorry, no excuse for that. Grand Rising, Carla Martin, you said Grand Rising T Pre. She's on food stamps for 4 kids. Exactly. Why is she running out of food? Why? She probably selling them food stamps. You know, she probably selling a lot of them food stamps. And you're right. There really is no reason for her not to have enough food for the month. She definitely, if she's getting food stamps, she should have enough food. Either she's selling food stamps or she's not properly buying food. Nobody has taught her how to budget and to purchase food and to have food stamps left over and shit. I wish I could get food stamps for my kids. And they grow. I wish I could get some food stamps, man. I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, if she's actually getting food stamps, they're giving her enough for her and those children. And they're giving her enough to last her for a period of time. Now, inflation is an issue where food has gone up, prices of food has gone up terribly and tremendously. But that's still not an excuse. I mean, I'm sorry. If somebody is giving me probably, I don't know, we're gonna look up the average price of food stamps, but if somebody is giving you like 400 or 500 or more per month on food stamps, and it's probably more than that, it's probably like 600 or 700 a month, depending on if she's working or not. But if they're giving her that plus herself, that she should have enough where she's purchasing meats, and purchasing things, side dishes and vegetables and stuff like that. She's buying seeds to plant vegetables and stuff like that because you can get all that with EBT. And she has a deep freezer where she can put food away, those kinds of things, and make sure that she's stocking up for the month. And then she might have to put some extra cash into it towards the end of the month or something like that. But there is absolutely no excuse for why this woman is running out of food. Clearly, there's something else going on at that, she's not talking about. And yeah, I think that was important to discuss because we can't be out here doing stuff like that to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, all the kids deserve to eat, yes, but it is her responsibility to make sure that her children eat, not everybody else's responsibility. Hey, Pixie, I appreciate you coming in the building. So we are going to get into this R. Kelly situation. Now, before I get into that, I did want to talk a little bit about a shout into the void. Last night we did upload, so you guys can check out a shout into the void. We do have a new episode out, and we also have polls on each of the episodes. There's a couple of them that have different polls in different spaces, so you guys can just check those out and tune in to the show. We did talk about the R. Kelly last night on the podcast recording that we did, which won't be uploaded till tomorrow. But I'm going to get into this a little bit with my audience because I did think that this was quite interesting. There's a lot of chatter right now going on in regards to the R. Kelly sentencing, as well as the same Maxwell sentencing. Okay, now Justine got 20 years over her involvement with Jeffrey Epstein and bringing the girls to the island and the sex trafficking issue. She got about 20 years for that, and they're actually watching her in jail. Like while she's in there, they're watching her in the shower and all kinds of places. She's been complaining about that, saying that she needs a little more privacy. But the purpose of watching her like that is because they don't want her to meet the same fate that Epstein met, or at least they're saying. Okay. Now, they're claiming that Epstein killed himself, which, ultimately speaking, if you think about it, he may have, but it sounds like he may have them. It may have been a hit. Okay. Just based off of how many names were involved in this sex trafficking ring, how many names he was willing to drop, and how many names she may have been willing to drop as well. So with that, it's unfortunate, but yeah, it looks like she maybe have a target on her back just based off of that. Okay. Because there's a lot of people that would be exposed, and a lot of people's dirt would come out in the wash if they start talking. Okay, and it's the same with R. Kelly, because R. Kelly actually mentioned various things. He said that he was going to start putting names out there. If he's going down, everybody going down with him. Okay, and I wonder if R. Kelly will end up meeting that same fate. Okay. I'm not saying that, I wish that upon him or I hope that happens to him or anything like that. It's just interesting to see. Okay. Because he got a 30-year sentence and Jasane got a 20-year sentence. Okay. R. Kelly was already pissed off that he was kind of railroaded into this, and not that he didn't partake in it, because he definitely did, and he definitely is very guilty of marrying an underage woman, having a baby, and all kinds of other things, and other horrible things that he committed. So we're not going to pretend that R. Kelly is innocent. However, I do believe there is some validity to what he's saying. Okay. I don't believe he acted alone. I don't believe he was the only one involved in this. I do believe that there were many, many other people and other factors involved in this whole sex ring. And we're not going to pretend that he's the only perpetrator here. So over time, and over this period of time, over 30 years, okay, like literally he has a 30-year sentence, and I don't believe they're going to let him out and on good behavior or anything like that. That means if he's doing 30 years, because he's 55, that means he will not see daylight until 85 years old. Okay. So, well, not daylight, but he won't be able to be outside of the confines of that prison for 30 years. Okay. That's a long time, y'all. That is a long time. For those of you who are in your 40s and 50s and stuff, you can think back to 30 years. You know what I mean? You can think back through 30 years and what you were doing in that time frame, how you've developed, how you've changed, how you've had children. Some of you've had grandchildren. Some of you have had never had children. You know what I mean? Or never had situations happening, but you've traveled and you've done various things in a 30-year period. Okay. I can only imagine how many names are about to come out in this 30 years. What is he going to start talking about? Who is he talking to? And are they going to let it come out? Or is he going to meet the same fate as Epstein, you know, before he gets to talking or before he gets to putting people's stuff out there? Or are people going to believe him? Because they have painted R. Kelly as, um, a person who is illiterate, who can't read, can't write, all these other things. And they try to paint him like he's unintelligent. Okay. So, yeah. And now that he's broke, and don't have no money, are they really going to take seriously the things that he says? Is he going to write a book? Is he going to, what's going to happen here in this 30-year period? But I definitely do think that the ones who were involved and the ones who were mixed up with R. Kelly, I think they have a lot to worry about. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. I think they have a lot to worry about. I think this story is far from over. And I think that there's a lot more twists and a lot more turns that will be coming into this story. But we'll see. But the difference is, though, because like I said, I've heard, the chatter around Justine Maxwell and R. Kelly, okay? And how people are saying, how does she get 20 years and he gets 30? Was he railroaded? Was this too much? Was this sentence over the top? It's funny how in this country, right, people tend to believe that a sexual crime does not warrant an extended period of time in prison. Okay, they we believe that selling drugs or causing a vehicular homicide, by mistake, or something like that, should be punishable more than a person hurting a child or a person hurting a woman. In our country, we believe that men should get slapped on the wrist for things like this. Like we literally get angry. Like look at the man and the manosphere that came through. But in that particular situation, it's crazy how there's this culture in our country where if someone is convicted of such a crime and someone is sentenced to such a crime, we immediately jump all over the prosecution and jump all over like, oh my god, like this is too much, and why are we throwing him away and all this stuff. Well, what about the victims? Does anybody ever think about the victims? Because he actually had victims. There aren't, these aren't just fast girls who just, wanted to hurry, wanted to get with R. Kelly, and they're like, it's not just that. Like he really was committing real crimes out here, and we tend to forget that these crimes that he committed have long lasting and lifetime effects on the victims. Okay. So was it too harsh? I don't think it was too harsh. I'll be honest with you. I really don't. And I also don't think it was over the top over just saying Maxwell. And I'm going to tell you guys why, just real briefly. But I want you guys to listen to us, what we put up on a Shout into the Void last night. And then you guys will see it tomorrow on Friday. But it was interesting to me that people felt some type of way about that and said, Jasane should have got more time. I do agree. I think she should have gotten more time. But I want you to see the differences in the two. She actually didn't partake in like directly in it. She was the one that was bringing girls, like recruiting girls and stuff like that. So, she's just as bad. But she wasn't like R. Kelly was actually not only, partaking in the whole thing. He was bringing them, partaking in part, all in the videos, every damn thing. Like, come on now. You can't blame them for giving him a little bit more time. And even in this situation, I don't know, maybe they're being a little bit racially biased as well as being a little bit gender biased as well. Okay. Like with him being a man and being a black man, yeah, they may have given him more time. With her being a white woman, or she's not a black woman, and she's not a black man. Yeah. So I do think that their sentence may have been a lot less harsh. And she shouldn't have gotten that slap on the wrist. But technically speaking, when you think about it, because like I said, if you look in other countries and how they actually handle sex crimes, they both got a slap on the wrist. To be honest with you, R. Kelly is not going to be, he's going to be fine. He'll be in there. Yeah, he's going to be in there. It's going to be a hard life and everything, but yeah, he'll be fine. He'll adjust. You know, he'll learn. As he probably already has adjusted. And this is just what it is. It's not. He's not getting out of there. I do believe that either he'll die in there or he'll come out a very old man, and that's unfortunate for him. But I can't say I feel sorry for him. I can't say that I would have wanted to see anything different because this is stuff that he should have thought about a long time ago. And like I said, mental illness is not an excuse for this kind of stuff. We have to treat mental illness, and just like any other illness, just like if you have any other you know thing going on, you need to treat it. So that would be the same thing, period. And even though, yeah, you can talk about how black people didn't usually have this type of help and this type of assistance. um it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. At the end of the day, he's got a he had a responsibility to handle that, and he did not. And now he's suffering the consequences for it. I do hope that they are getting him actual proper treatment and proper help. I doubt it, because it's an American prison, you know. But I hope that at least he does. Quick question. You said, do you think he had something to do with Aaliyah's death? Huh. I had a theory on that at one point, and I thought maybe he did, or if he didn't actually do it, he made sure somebody did. Um, because and there's a lot of theories and stuff around that. There's a couple of people and a few videos on YouTube regarding that. And how and the circumstances around her death. I think it wasn't just him though. I think it was multiple people involved in that. And I also see um, the careers of some people now that have flourished because of the death of Aaliyah. Such as Beyonce. Beyonce would not be Beyonce if it wasn't for Aaliyah. Which a lot of people tend to forget. So yes, I do think that he did, but I think it was very intricate. I don't think it was just him. I don't think he had enough power for just that. But I do think there was definitely it was a murder for sure. You said he never received the help he needed. He never ever received it. Nope, he didn't, and that has a lot to do with why he did this for so long. But the problem I'm having is why did nobody else say anything for so long? Literally nobody um said anything for years, and they knew this was going on. They knew what was happening with Aaliyah. They knew what even her own uncle, was aware of these things. So I don't know, but rest in peace to Aaliyah. She was one of my favorite singers. I'll never forget her. Her and I are around the same age, so she died very young. But she'd be in her 40s now, and yeah, I rest in peace to her. Um, and yeah, the justice, sweet justice, has finally come. And I don't think that he's the only one. I do think as time goes on, there will be a lot more that will come out about Aaliyah's death. You said 30 years of trash, sexually deviant behavior towards teens has been rewarded with 30 years of hard time. I have none to give for R. Exactly. Nothing to give for him. 30 years of sexual deviancy towards teens, okay? Towards kids. And now he gets 30 years of time. Oh well. Like I don't feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't. I don't. He took advantage of teenage girls. He literally did it, and it was dead wrong. It was dead wrong. It caused a lifetime of heartache and pain. And so, yeah, he absolutely deserves to be in prison for this. You said, what about the parents that allowed this to happen? I think those parents should be held responsible as well. I think not only them, I think that Aaliyah's uncle, there's many others that should be held responsible, and they're not yet. R. Kelly's kind of like taking he's taking the brunt for everybody, but that's why he's saying, hey, I ain't going down by myself. So I really think that R. Kelly, I wonder if he's going to write a book, or what he's going to, or have somebody else write a book for him, or what he's going to do. I'm not sure how he's going to handle it, but I really think over the next 30 years, we are going to hear and see a lot of stuff, and just a lot of things are going to come out about this, especially now that these sex rings and these sex trafficking things are being broken wide open, and stuff is coming to the forefront. People going to jail. He's going to start talking, unless they have him meet the same fate that Jeffrey Epstein met. Which again, I will never believe that Jeffrey Epstein offed himself in prison. I don't believe he did that. Nope, I don't. I don't believe it with nothing. As a matter of fact, one day I want to pull cards on it. But no, I definitely don't believe that. So, but anyway, guys, I am going to get out of here. We've been on here for about an hour. I always appreciate you guys for tuning in. For all of you who are in the clouds, I see y'all. And for those of you who will catch the replay, I truly appreciate you guys. Again, make sure that you are checking out A Shout into the Void. We did drop our second episode last night. We also will be dropping our third episode on Friday. We've got an interview coming up with an author next week. We've got all kinds of stuff happening with A Shout into the Void. Really, really looking forward to you guys following us. We've got great, great things going on in the next few months and also throughout the summer. All right, guys, I truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. I am going to go ahead and play a shout into the void, and then I'm going to play one of my endings. Truly appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Hold on, I've got one more comment here. Okay, you said thanks. Okay. And I appreciate you, Black Napotis, for coming in. There's a couple of times I've seen you in the show, and thank you for watching. All right, guys. So make sure, again, you're checking out our Spotify. Also, we will be dropping a couple of receipts for those of you who know what that is. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace, guys.